Hello, everybody. We are back once again. It's going to be the match of the week for Week 7 of the King's Court Pokemon Draft League. Joining me today is my co-host, kyrogeniz. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
In this week, we're going to be watching this matchup between Megaverse and Mysticwatch. Megaverse, of course, being the coach of Oricorio's Oreo stuffing. Showing off a nice balanced core. You know, got that big mix of bulk and offense, and of course that double Zoroark core, so that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of mind games. Going up against him is Mystic in the Suffolk County Shroomish. Why don't you introduce them real quick?
Sure thing. They also look pretty balancy based off composition, more of a bulky balance, but between that Darkrai and the Regieleki, I think the breakthrough power will be strong. This might be a long game between the Screamtail and the Sinistcha, who is notably one of his two Terra Captains brought. Should be a fun matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be really hard to keep track of double Zoroark. Very interesting addition picked up very recently, actually. This is the first week he's had both of them. So it's going to be very fun to see. And I mean, with these double regenerator core, could be in for a bit of a long one.
I'd be surprised if we aren't, truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some shenanigans with Zoroark, and maybe that puts a close to it. There are kind of some thin margin Pokemon, you know. They hit pretty hard, but they don't like to take a hit. Obviously, kind of their thing. It's the trickster Pokemon.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, if Mystic is able to kind of weather the storm, win the information game, poke out some of these sets, find out who's the Zoroark, who's not, it could be looking good for him, as we just see a straight up Swords Dance. It's revealed this is actually just Crocodile.
That was a bluff on an imposter if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, fantastic bluff.
Wait a second.
Wait.
That's not Crocodile.
Oh,
That's Zoroark.
This is Hisuian Zoroark. A physical Hisuian Zoroark. Launching off a Poltergeist. I didn't even know it could run physical sets.
Is that the Hisuian one? I'm not sure.
I would think so. It is stab. Truthfully, I'm not quite sure of the depth of Zoroark's move pool. But this is already going to be a...
No, that's Hisuian. Yeah, he doesn't get Poltergeist.
Yeah,
wow.
Real to be Hisuian Zoroark is already a fast-paced game. KO on turn 2 as an uninspected Zoroark lead catches Mystic off guard. It's going to be Sinistcha. As you said, one of the Terra Captains down, but he still has that Registeel. Ice Beam reveals it to be Zoroark as Giga Impact comes out in Oko's Darkrai.
That is insane. That is insane-o mode.
I mean, this is a crazy moveset coming out from Megaverse. This is something all the prep in the world couldn't ready you for. You gotta love creativity like this.
Absolutely. I mean, this dude's literally running double imposter. Like, the mind games are gonna be insane. So
yeah.
One turn, as we just saw, is so devastating. 2 mons down on turn 3.
Zoroark has to recharge, so gonna be revenged. He could maybe take this turn to set up rocks, as he does. Zoroark might be threatening this with a fighting move. Probably not gonna kill, but would imagine do a very nice chunk to this very tanky Registeel. Yeah. Interestingly enough, both of the setup threats from the side of Mysticwatch are taken out almost immediately with that Nasty Plot Darkrai and that Calm Mind Sinistcha.
Really, it's only press left from Mr. Registeel, and that's not that good into his current mons.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to play a longer game with maybe some wishes from Screamtail, and again these regenerator pivots. There's a critical hit.
Crit!
Poltergeist takes out Registeel in one shot, and now the Zoroark is still alive. Probably gonna have to be revenged by the Regieleki here. Anything else is going to take a serious chunk from that Poltergeist. Regieleki comes out to revenge the Zoroark.
Wow. Dude,
oh my god, but Shadow Sneak almost takes out a KO. Wow,
and now he threatens.
Yeah, this is going to be a very fast-paced game, unlike what we were saying before.
I mean, that absolutely favors Megaverse, as we're seeing, but if this game goes quick, those mons are dropping fast. Someone's going to get absolutely screwed over by this.
Interestingly enough, the rocks actually do reveal this to be normal Zoroark. Taking full rocks damage there. So let's see if Mystic is attentive
Oh
enough.
my
As
god!
this Zoroark is also sword dancing up.
What is happening?
Could be a potential encore, but is Zoroark faster than Screamtail? I'm actually not sure on that speed tier.
I would say no off the top of my head. Screamtail
Oh,
is quite
encore
fast.
does come out, and it's going to be forced to Swords Dance and forced out by the Screamtail. So a bit of a storm weathered, maybe a bit of stabilized coming from Mysticwatch as Toxapex comes out. Balloon Toxapex takes almost nothing from that Dazzling Gleam. And it's going to be hard pressed for Mystic to come back into this game after that start.
Toxapex can just force a Toxic here, so Slowking has to come in. And the double out into Glamora was very well played.
Yeah, if this is like a Specs Earth Power set, nothing is going to want to be eating this.
They will all die.
Oh, it's a
corrosion
set, and that's going to be very, very nice. Putting this this wall onto a timer, forcing it to switch out way faster than you'd like it to. As it gets a Meteor Beam off, it's going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, it goes down, but you're gladly taking that trade if you're the side of Megaverse.
Absolutely.
This Slowking is going to be forced out now. You can take advantage of that, maybe with the real Crocodile. Nothing's really going to be wanting to eat an Earthquake.
Not in the slightest. You can also use Dragapult and just U-turn straight out for just information, which is very likely to happen here.
Here is that Dragapult. Revealed to be Boots Dragapult, so no Scarf to try and outspeed that Regieleki.
Oh, the Willow.
Hello.
Predicting a switch.
Yeah, this Hex is going to be fairly threatening here.
It might OHKO, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to do serious damage, and Dazzling Gleam, I believe it might take a Dazzling Gleam. Tech comes out as the Hex is shown.
Ooh.
It's going to be a nice turn of scouting, and again, with that Slowking being toxic, this Hex is also, I'd imagine, going to be threatening a kill, especially given the HP it's out. Yeah. Oh.
Yep, it eats one. And
very
now
heartily.
it's almost definitely dead.
Yeah, and now Hex is threatening to kill the entire team. Gonna be claiming a KO here. I'd imagine Regieleki is going to be coming back out, but with a full HP Crocodile, it's not gonna be able to win the game for you.
No, I'm afraid Regieleki is pretty cooked as long as that real Crocodile is alive. Wow. I am just well prepped for Megaverse. Really back-to-back mind games of just set up and sweep.
I mean, this is the kind of mind games you love to see if you're running this double Zoroark squad. You know, just keep up the pressure. Expect the unexpected, I suppose, if you're on the side of Mystic. Frankly,
never let anything set up.
I didn't even know that Hisui and Zoroark could run a physical set. But I guess he's running one on normal Zoroark too. So
He is.
yeah.
I believe Hisui and Zoroark's only like 30 stats worse in terms of special to physical.
Yeah.
Masterly, regardless.
That makes sense. Does have those very threatening stabs.
That should be game. Dragapult should clean this
Yeah.
up. Foregoing a full para.
Yeah, Dragapult still faster than Slowking, despite the para. If he breaks through, it's going to be the game here. Just a quick 20 turns. There it is. It's going to be game 1 coming in for Megaverse. I mean,
Dastardly.
that is definitely a tough game. If you are on the side of Mysticwatch, what adjustments are you doing going into this next game too?
I'm bringing some choice item on one of my neutral hitters on Dark Ghost, which really you're gonna have to bring Dark and fight through the resistance. Have like Dazzling Gleam, maybe a Life Orb. It's really hard. Like a Life Orb Darkrai could do a lot of work against this imposter, but it has to be a lead, and it needs to threaten immediately. Because if you give it even a chance to SD up like that again, anything's getting killed.
Yeah. Gonna be very threatening. Getting rocks up early could also help. Again,
Absolutely.
We see it's rocks giving the ability to scout potentially what Pokemon it is. Again, Crocodile only takes 6%. Saw this game, Dragapult is Boots. So anything taking neutral damage is going to be the Zoroark or the Toxapex. So, I mean, mean, if Mystic is paying a lot of attention to these kinds of things, they could look to try and abuse that. But again, it is going to be hard. It's not even... This game doesn't even feel like much of an adjustment game. You know, it's more of like a mindset thing. You got to be more... You got to be more in the mindset to try and face off against this Zoroark core.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll just pause it here and get right back into it once Game 2 has begun. And we are back. It's going to be Game 2 of the series. Looking like almost immediately no Pokemon changes coming from Mysticwatch. Probably only a few slight adjustments. As I said at the end of last game, I think it's more of a mentality thing that you have to be pretty aware and pretty prepared for the Zoroark core. But also it wasn't much of a long adjustment, so running back with a pretty similar team.
I mean, we didn't really get to see much of the Regieleki set, and I do like the screen. I'm not sure why he went light screen. I guess to protect from the current one in front of him. But the Reflect is going to be very valuable if he had that. Especially against this double physical Zoroark with Crocodile. It's really only Glamora and Dragapult. But regardless, the real Crocodile has come out.
Yeah.
As we see, the Volt Switch has stopped.
Very much confirmed to be the real Crocodile. Gonna force this Regieleki out. I mean, without anything carrying, this Earthquake is going to be pretty scary. You don't really want to be switching your thinnest jaw into a Crocodile.
The knockoff come out.
Yeah, knockoff also looking very scary.
Oh,
as he doubles it with Glamora.
Okay.
Could look for a Toxic. Potentially crippling this thinnest jaw in the long run. Pokemon that really wants to stick around. Goes for a Poltergeist. It's revealed to be Zoroark.
That's not Glamora.
That is not Glamora. No, sir. Gets the boost up, and it is going to be able to live another Poltergeist. So this Matcha Gotcha is going to be pretty threatening.
Very threatening. Nothing really wants to eat that inside of Oricorios, so...
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine... We didn't see much of it last game. I can't imagine his Toxapex.
Oh, yeah. Money talks, baby.
I can't imagine his Toxapex is leaving home without it, as we see a crit actually picks up the 2-hit KO. That is a big crit. Without that, it would have been able to live that hit, as we saw 46 coming out before, barring an extreme roll that was going to be able to eat another hit. Oh, that is a tough one if you're on the side of Mystic.
Extremely tough.
Oof. The Darkrai comes out, attempting to revenge this Glamora. Crocodile swaps in Dark Pulse, reveals it to be normal Crocodile.
The Darkrai should put in some serious work here regardless.
Yeah.
Though it is relying on Focus Miss to hit here.
That is definitely a pretty scary proposition. You know, you never really want to be relying on that. And then Scarf is revealed on Crocodile. It knocks off the Sash. And the first KO is claimed on the side of Mystic. So, nice revenge there. And nothing's really going to be wanting to switch into this Darkrai. Toxapex is going to be able to eat anything pretty handily. But we could see a potential Hypnosis to try and put this thing at bay. There's a lot of options you can go here.
But the risk of getting Toxic is a bit too heavy.
Yeah. The Balloon does... I don't know what that's really for here.
I presume Reggie Steel Earthquake.
Yeah, something like that. But regardless, the Toxic comes out on Slowking. As T-Wave comes out on a Dragapult, that's going to be a very big deal. That means Dragapult is a lot less threatening. It's going to be slower than that Scream Tail, which is a very big deal. And now Willow misses as Psychic Noise does a nice chunk. This Dragapult is getting very chunked and is not going to be around for much longer at this rate.
Certainly in danger. I would almost start saving as a sack after you status this thing up.
Yeah.
You turn right out.
Turns right out. See what's gonna come in. The Slowking staying in. Are they going for a pivot itself with the chilly reception? and there it is.
There it is.
Gonna be able to keep up momentum. Still, interestingly enough, no rocks or anything to scout the set, or if it's Zoroark or not. So really going into this switch pretty blind. You do have the Regieleki, and notably no ground type to block Volt Switch. So it seems decently free. You're able to reveal which Pokemon it is with a Volt Switch, and you play around that accordingly. So that's probably what I would elect for if I'm on the side of Mystic here. Play it safe, get more info.
Not much to eat though.
Yeah,
really wants to eat the
that is fair.
Besides Darkrai, but even then, you're getting chip onto one of your best wing combos.
I mean, if you're not +2, Regieleki probably eats decently well.
That it does, but we're implying a Volt Switch here, right? So it's gonna switch right out. Oh, it's gonna screen up first.
And it is just normal Glimmora. Is gonna be +1 Meteor Beam, taking it down with that Power Herb. And now, I mean, Light Screen is up, so hopefully it's able to keep this Glimmora at bay with that boost. Could go for a potential Encore here. Lock it into Meteor Beam. Could go for a couple options here. Slowking is definitely one of them. Gonna get Toxic, threatened back by Psychic Noise. But
I think it's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, you're definitely very happy to take that trade if you're the side of Megaverse. Again, this thing is gonna be a pain in the butt if it lasts very long, but Toxapex coming out, not gonna be taking much, even from Psychic Noise. I don't believe Heal Block blocks Regenerator, so...
It does, I believe.
It does?
I'm pretty certain it does, yes, if you leave the Heal Block up.
Wow. Well, we're gonna find out as Toxapex switches out that Heal Block already on. Dragapult comes out, gonna be threatening a Hex. It's not gonna kill, especially with this Light Screen up, but it's still not gonna be damage you love taking if you're the Slowking.
Some free chip.
Yeah. As we saw before, if Psychic Noise is its best way to hit this Dragapult, it's not gonna be doing too much. It is gonna be 2-hit KOing from this range. Again, already eating one earlier, so...
It's really just a gambit here for the Slowking. Does he want to click Psychic Noise to chip the Dragapult down, or does he want to slow pivot out?
Does elect for that pivot. Eats it. Gonna be back at around half HP next time it comes in. See what comes in here. Could be that Darkrai. Again, it is paralyzed. Gonna be very threatening with this Dark Stab. But, I mean, if that Toxapex is Heal Block, like you said, it's gonna be a lot scarier here. Nothing's gonna really want to come in and eat this. You know, you do have that Darkrai at full HP. Not that Darkrai, that Zoroark, excuse me, at full HP. But there is the Toxapex, and that
the
is Regenerated. So,
interesting.
Yeah. Heal Block not going to be able to stop that healing coming through. And suddenly this Darkrai is a lot less scary when you have a full HP Toxapex.
Yep. Who knew? Not me. I'm not a knower. In the case it wouldn't have worked, the Glimmora sack probably would have been his best avenue, but that's a whole alternate timeline we don't gotta worry about. Toxapex is mildly threatening here. It can Toxic up this Darkrai, which you never want to see.
Yeah, this Darkrai is probably gonna be your main avenue for victory here. A flinch could be very threatening as he does get it, and now this Toxapex is in danger of dying. A Dragapult is going to be sacked to Dark Pulse, as we're gonna have to see what comes out next. We did see last game, neither of these Zoroark are Choice Scarfed, so nothing is going to be outspeeding this Darkrai here, and this is certainly not Toxapex, to say the least.
You can imagine this is the Dark Zoroark, right? Surely he's not just switching into a Dark Pulse.
You would have to imagine. Registeel comes out on the Brick Break, going to be doing a nice 43, but it is able to live too. Pretty heartily, along with the help of these leftovers.
This almost feels like a Poltergeist crit. I can feel it again.
You think so?
Oh, nah, he's gonna SD up.
Comes out, Body Press takes that clean Oko on the Dark-type Zoroark, and Registeel lives to see another day. Here comes Glimmora. This is normal Glimmora, starting off at 26%. So,
much less threatening.
Yeah, Earth Power gonna be threatening here. Also does have that Sludge Wave or that Toxic as it comes out and cripples this Registeel. Unless it's a rest set, that is going to be very, very crippling. Toxapex comes back out, 49%. Probably going to be able to get a recover off here, but I mean, you still have to deal with this Zoroark Hisui if you're on the side of Mystic. There is still the possibility it can come out, especially with your main threats down. Probably gonna have to heal up this Darkrai if you want an avenue to victory.
I would agree. A wish and switch into it is your best avenue, but it's kind of hard to finagle that when you have a ghost type just staring at it.
Yeah. Oh, Scouts with the Protect. Gonna be that Zoroark here. Could click a move to try and break this, or he could just try and pass a Wish here. I think is definitely the safer move, but let's see what he goes for here. Does throw out that Wish. Poltergeist gets the clean kill. Could threaten it out with Darkrai here. Does come out, and it's also going to be getting that Wish. So, Darkrai going to be very threatening. Even Toxapex on the Switch isn't going to be wanting to eat up this Dark Pulse. Even though it is full HP, takes 34. Darkrai is at full, and it's not going to be getting killed by anything that Toxapex wants to do. Obviously, Toxic is slightly annoying, but the Slowking come out. Gonna try and potentially paralyze this Toxapex, makes it easier to deal with in the long run. Likes to play it a little bit slower.
Which may work in his favor.
Yep, there's that T-Wave. Also, just gets his Slowking a little healthier. That Poltergeist is going to be very threatening to it, but it might make a difference in the long run. Ice Beam comes out, does a pitiful 3%. And now you could potentially see like a Seismic Toss or something from this Registeel. Try and maybe play the PP stall game on the side of Mystic. Who knows?
Yeah, really, no Mon here is threatened by Body Press.
It was
the
right
Rock's coming
into the
up.
Zoroark.
That'd be good to help punish the switches.
Yeah, we saw Brick Break from Dark type Zoroark only doing 43. This Poltergeist comes out, eaten.
Ooh.
Oh, and this is going to be a lot of damage. Heavy Slam comes out, does 32, and this Zoroark isn't going to be around for much longer. It's going to eat another turn of Life Orb. Only has two turns max, especially with these rocks coming out. I mean, it's going to be all up to this paralyzed Toxapex if you're the side of Megaverse. Battle Sneak comes out, claims the KO.
We're getting to a very close end game here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be very thin margins. Darkrai could come out. It's not in Shadow Sneak range. Again, is going to be very threatening, especially with rocks up to pressure this Toxapex on the Switch. Going to be paralyzed. It's not really going to be a very comfortable spot if you're the side of Megaverse.
It's really hard for Megaverse to kind of win out here, unless he can somehow kill off that Darkrai. But
yeah, this endgame is looking very favorable for Mystic. It's going to be very hard to navigate on the side of Megaverse. Darkrai does come out, threaten a revenge. Dark Pulse comes out, picks up the clean KO onto Zoroark Hisui. Toxapex comes out to face the world.
Hold the line.
It's got... We actually don't know how many recovers it has to his name.
It only knows Poltergeist.
Yeah. But Toxic comes out, and I just don't think it has EP to try and claw through. Oh, especially with that Psychic Noise.
That just might be it.
I forgot about that, but that is going to be blocking any recovery, and another one's going to be killing Toxapex as it comes out, and that's going to be Game 2 going over to Mystic. So, great recovery after that Game 1 to bring back the series to a 1-1 draw. We're going to be back for Game 3. Before we go, if you are the side of Megaverse here, are there any adjustments you're making if you are going into this Game 3?
You know, Cinderace might put some heavy work in here. It can threaten the Darkrai with high jump kick. It can move the rocks back wherever you want to. I would opt for a choice set though, to be able to threaten Scream Tail. Then you add the Pyro Ball that hits almost everything neutrally, if not super effectively. So I think we could see that one come out.
Yeah, I think that's certainly an option. There's a world, if you want to lose some of the funny factor, you swap Cinderace in for one of these Zoroark. But otherwise, I think all of the Pokemon on side of Megaverse are putting in a lot of work. I think they're
Absolutely.
all carrying weight. I think there's definitely a very realistic world where we see the same 6 Pokemon marching back in once again for the 3rd game in a row. We're just gonna have to wait and see, and we'll be right back with Game 3. And we are back. The conclusion of this series, this match of the week between Megaverse and Mysticwatch. Coming back into it again, that Cinderace said could be good is here in place of that
Dragapult.
Dragapult. Yeah, Dragapult did a lot of work game 1 especially, but I mean, it's not the worst swap in the world. You know, both
No.
Mons are pretty serviceable. Especially if you want to keep this double Zoroark core. It's probably
if you value
the slot
the funny
to go.
factor.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. If you want to keep this double Zoroark in, I can respect it. It's probably the Dragapult swap then, especially since Cinderace could get a lot of work done here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Notably,
Here's we look out for the Swords Dance coming up.
Yeah. Here comes this mind game once again, but Gallant's with Protect as the Swords Dance comes
there
out.
it is.
Could be getting Encored here. If it is not, if it is faster than
Though
the
Shadow
Zoroark.
Sneak might actually kill here.
Yeah, I don't think it does. This is a very uninvested
We'll get Encore.
Dreamtail as the Encore does come out, not electing for that Shadow Sneak. Gonna be a Dazzling Gleam coming out into that Toxapex, critting for a bit of chip, a bit of 13 damage.
That's a big crit.
It is. This Toxapex, not gonna be very threatening. Probably throwing off a Toxic, nothing your Slowking can't eat and pivot out, or maybe threaten some Thunder Waves with. This Slowking does
There
come
he
out
is.
as he doubles the
double.
Crocodile. Good switch, gonna be
Maybe.
threatening a, yeah, maybe Crocodile. Gonna be threatening either a Swords Dance or just a straight up knockoff from normal Crocodile here. I mean, you'd have to be a bold man to click Thunder Wave here, is all
You
I'm
would.
saying.
You have to be a very bold man.
man.
I mean, your odds are in your favor, right? 2 to 3.
Something like that, you know?
You never know.
I mean, sometimes, hey, when you're up against this Zoroark team, you gotta take a few risks, you know?
Yeah,
And this
that's a
just
casino
might be
win.
one of them, you know? Yeah, you gotta keep them on your toes as much as they're keeping you on your toes.
Absolutely. Though I am curious to see what is going to come out from this alleged Crocodile. This is extremely hard to cast because this could be anything, right? This could be a Shadow Ball. This could be a knockoff.
Yeah,
This could be an
just-
FC.
I mean, there's just about 30 different moves that could be coming out this turn.
Absolutely.
We honestly have absolutely zero idea. It could be a switch up on one of the Zoroark sets. We've only seen one of them, for all we know. Maybe it's like
Sure.
a special Zoroark. I mean, probably not into the Slowking, but you never know.
I mean, probably not. That could have been Crocodile actually SDing too.
Yeah, I mean, normal Crocodile, as it is going to be that Brick Break, that's Zoroark, right?
That's surely Zoroark.
I'm
It's a
fairly
bad
sure
one.
that's Zoroark. Trying to catch a Darkrai or a Registeel on the Switch.
Which I'm intrigued by. Surely you expect a chilly reception almost every time. They can almost always eat one. Nothing really threatens an Oko on it unless you have EQ on a real Crocodile.
Yeah, if this is has some physical bulk, it's not gonna be getting O-code by Poltergeist, I believe. As let's see if Mystic is on the ball enough to know that this is in fact Zoroark. This is no Crocodile.
I think the hardest part of the gambit is not is it Zoroark, but which Zoroark is
Yeah.
it, right?
That is true. Notably, I mean, it's revealed to be Life Orb, not Scarf, so Darkrai is a pretty safe switch here. It's not going to be faster. I mean, it's going to be faster than at least this particular Zoroark, and it's going to be threatening some
Dark Pulse
Pulse
is always
damage.
threatening.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it is Dark type Zoroark, it's not fantastic. So
It's like
maybe it
very-
is just the Registeel, as we do see the Registeel come out.
We'll find out in just a second if this is the Ghost type or the Dark type, depending on if he switches out or not from this body press coming out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we'll know.
Could opt to play it safe with a heavy slam here if you are Mysticwatch, opting to maybe try and reveal one of the sets first. You don't want to body press and just get whacked by a Swords Dance Brick Break something.
Right.
But
extremely punishing.
yeah, it could be a bit of a scout. But as we saw last game, Brick Break unboosted is only going to be doing about 45, so you do have that extra turn to maybe potentially scout, but that is a lot of damage going on to your Registeel that you really don't want to be seeing. You want to be seeing this thing stick around, maybe pass it a few wishes. It's one of your best answers into these physical Zoroark sets. As without that crit that we saw game 1, it's not going to be dying in one hit anytime soon from full HP.
Not to mention its Terra types make it very good into these double Zoroark mind game. Unless it's a special Hisuian Zoroark with a Grass Knot, it really has no way to threaten water.
Yeah, gonna be very safe, very neutral typing. Not really any electric or grass hoops on the side of Megaverse, so it's just a very good neutral typing in general. If he might just opt to go for it right away, but that Steel type is pretty valuable into this Toxapex. Makes it toxic immune. Into this Glimmora, not so much. It is that corrosion set, but Toxapex comes into this Registeel. Not going to be threatening it very much in return, but I mean, this is kind of just going to be two walls staring each other down. Not going to be able to do much to each other. The Stealth Rocks are set up. Surf does almost nothing. Leftovers heal that right back up to full.
3% net damage.
Yeah. Definitely going to be an exchange that you're willing to make. As this is going to be taking full damage from rocks, so that is going to be Zoroark.
I'm curious where this bluff's going to go. The
yeah.
Iron Defense is extremely threatening.
This Iron Defense is going to be very valuable if you are on the side of Mysticwatch here.
So again, if it's a special Zoroark, it means almost nothing. But we honestly don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what adjustments were made. The only person who knows what was made is... Oh, it is...
That's Glimmora.
It is Glimmora. Wait. Huh.
Wait, doesn't Poison make it not...
Does it?
I believe so.
Oh.
It's a rock?
Maybe I'm just wrong and stupid then. Who knows? That is going to be a very damaging Toxic, though, for this Registeel. Going to be pretty much down for the count. It is in Brick Break range. The Cinderace does come out. It's revealed to not be Boots. He does love this Choice Band Cinderace set. One of his favorites. But this is certainly in Pyro Ball range, but does have that Terra. It is maybe potentially a bit of a waste, especially with a full HP Sinistcha.
I would agree.
Probably not electing to go for a Terra on Registeel.
Yeah, switch it or just eat the Pyro Ball and call it a day.
Yeah, probably.
So, a double choice Pyro Ball is threatening almost anything on his team is the problem.
Yeah, gonna be very hard to switch it to. As I said before, no fire resist without Terra. Although, potentially, after that Terra, a Heat-Proof Sinistcha could be a technical fire resist, you know? So, something to weather the storm there.
Ooh. Anticipation is killing me.
Yeah.
It could just be a straight up U-turn out for all we know. Though I doubt it because of the rocks. This thing wants to get as much value for when it comes in.
Yeah, you don't really want to be clicking U-turn as much as you would. You know, with the heavy duty boot set, you're really happy to just click it as many times as possible. But again, with Choice Band, your switch-ins are very, very numbered, as you said. So, gonna be switching into...
Ooh.
The Screamtail as Pyro Ball misses. That is a big miss. Again, not many chances with the Cinderace to capitalize on these switch-ins. You're gonna want to be making the most of them, and that is a big miss as Gunk Shot comes out.
Wait, that's not a Choice Band.
Oh, it's not.
Shell Bell?
Shell Bell! Whoa! This is
Whoa!
a crazy set coming out from the side of Megaverse. Shell Bell Cinderace.
Wait, that put in some work.
Yeah, as the Gunk Shot comes out. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a crazy set. You're probably electing to just protect on up on this,
Cinderace gets a free switch
on the Screamtail, but you do get a free switch here as Cinderace goes back to nearly full. Wow.
Shell Bell.
I wonder what
Shout
the
out
thought
to old
process
games.
is behind that. Yeah, this is a crazy set. You know, a lot of creativity coming out in this series. I gotta say, Fireball comes out, maybe potentially trying to catch a lazy Registeel switch, but
True. Gunk Shot still threatens a kill
Gunk
here.
Shot is still very, very, very threatening. Does no longer have stab on that Pyro Ball, so a Slow King pivot could be an answer here. It is going to resist that Gunk Shot.
That it will. You could also, you can't really opt to Wish again. It's a Gambit if he clicks Pyro Ball, expecting a Registeel switch in for the immunity, but
Yeah.
if you're a Megaverse, you just click Gunk Shot or you switch.
Gunk
Either
Shot
way.
is definitely the safest option by far here. I think if you're on the side of Megaverse. And I think knowing that it's probably the Slow King switch, as we do see it come out.
It is.
Gunk Shot
Gunk miss.
misses. A bit of chip missed there, but nothing really to write home about. As we now see a pretty threatening T-Wave come out. Crocodile, notably, is still full HP, so
Good to be a U-turn right into him, because U-turn should do neutral damage to Slow King, give him
Yeah.
a nice free T-Wave switch.
yeah, I mean, U-turn would also heal him back up to full HP.
And
right?
it would.
Yeah.
Shell Bell.
Seems pretty free. You know, on the stand, I mean, the biggest punish, if you are on the side of Mystic, is chilling out on a potential Crocodile, which I think is, I mean, maybe best case scenario if he is going to opt to go into that Crocodile, as we do see the U-turn come out. See who he goes into here. Probably Crocodile. Toxapex comes out.
Toxapex.
And the Chili, in return, gonna be able to keep up that momentum here. We could... this is pretty hard to punish. You do still have that Regieleki to potentially go to.
But a hard Crocodile shut that down immediately. And I don't think Explosion could kill it.
You do have the potential to potentially set up screens. And that's
True.
a bit of progress you can make. You know,
Make a Darkrai a lot easier to switch in.
yeah. Notably with that Glamora going down, the entire squad of Megaverse is going to be physical. So if we do see Reflect coming out like Light Screen last game, it could be a pretty big deal for the side of Mystic.
And it could. Unless, of course, the Zazooie and Zoroark is special. We really have no idea. We've seen one Zoroark.
We've seen one Zoroark, and we've seen it Swords Dance. Again, we really have absolutely no idea when or where the other Zoroark could come out, as we see a lot of waiting on this chilly reception. Again, probably,
Hard situation.
yeah, just thinking about what if it's Toxapex, what if it's Zoroark. You just don't know. You just don't know.
You are probably right about Regieleki, though. It's probably the safest switch regardless, because you has Volt switch out. And if Krook comes in, whatever, you know it's Krook in front of you.
Although, I believe... Hold on. I'm not extremely familiar with the Zoroark mechanics, but it is always going to be Crocodile, correct? Like we saw it at the beginning of the game?
Yes, one of them will be.
Okay.
I don't know if they both take the same Mon.
I think it's the last, like your last
It is the
slot.
last in your party, yeah. But
So-
I don't know if they both will take the same. I think so. So probably.
I believe they're both going to be Crocodile. So, again, I'm not extremely familiar with the Zoroark mechanics, but it is going to be that Regieleki, as presumably this is, in fact, the real Toxapex. Gonna be able to threaten some screens here. You know, that electric stab is not going to be very pretty if you are this Toxapex. So, again, potentially scaring this thing out, as Baneful Bunker is being used to scout, as the Reflect does come out. That's a very big deal. Again, very physical if you are the side of Megaverse. So, Reflect is going to be a lot of damage lost.
There is a Brick Break. We've already seen it. It's there. So it's temporary because it hits straight through Brick Break, if I'm recalling correctly.
That is a good point. Brick Break going to be able to break that, as Volt Switch blocked by the Crocodile. Going to be threatening a nice knockoff here.
Absolutely. Or if it has a Brick. I don't know if Krook gets Brick itself. If it does, that would also be very good here. It's a free Brick Break. Forces him out in a hard switch.
I believe it does. It's rare to see, because I believe it gets close combat. So you would be specifically teching it for these screens. But, I mean, if he does have it here, it would be a pretty good click. Again, knockoff, also some of that free progress. One of the reasons it's so good. You know, very easy to just spam, even if you're not going to be doing too much with this reflective.
Even if there's no item, man, it's still so free to spam. It's absurd. One switch is all you need.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Maybe, yeah, okay. Obviously, we expect the Sinistcha switch here.
Yeah,
There's Earthquake's coming
Sinistcha
out.
coming out. It's not going to be taking a lot, even from knockoff here. It's not going to be doing very much at all. Sinistcha is a very, very physically bulky Pokemon. Going to be able to potentially get a boost off. We haven't really seen many moves from this Toxapex. We have seen Toxic and Protect and Surf. So could potentially be a Haze coming in from that last slot.
It could.
Yeah. If not, though, this is fairly threatening behind this screen. Cinderace comes back out. This Matcha Gotcha does a nice little 23. Back to full.
So the screen's still up. I'm not sure how threatening this Mon really is in this situation.
Yeah, it's not going to be doing a lot, to be quite honest. Especially with that heat proof, meaning that it's not even weak to fire. So it's going to be very hard to hit this Sinistcha behind the screen. You'd even potentially elect to go for a boost.
And if he Terra Steel, it's even more difficult because the Gunk Shot won't even hit him. We still haven't seen that Terra come out from it.
Yeah. Still that, you know, curious fourth move slot coming in from Cinderace. Haven't seen the full move set here. Only seen 3 out of the 4 moves, so could potentially be something to hit. E-turn comes out, not going to be doing a lot at all. See what Sinistcha goes for. Notably, I mean, the Cinderace is at effectively 25% after this switch in, so it's not going to be taking anything on the switch in. It's going to have to come in, it's not going to, like, after a KO, and it's not going to be healing up much at all, so it's going to be very, very hard pressed to get much more use out of that. Drink Sack comes back, going to be putting it back up to nice round full HP, I mean, this Toxapex is threatening Toxic, but again, that Terra has not been revealed. Could be a Terra Steel to potentially block that.
And that could just be a free setup of Calm Minds, right? Like 3 turns behind a screen. Nothing's gonna hit you super effective besides fighting or ground. And you have 3 turns of setup. You can strength sap any threats that come in.
Yeah.
It's a very trying situation for Megaverse to weather through.
This is a very threatening one. Opts to play it safe.
That's not Toxapex.
But that is very much not Toxapex. As we once again see Swords Dance coming out, and now potentially a big Poltergeist, or even a strong Dark type move. Both of which are going to be very threatening to the Slowking. I don't believe this is going to kill behind the screen, but that could just mean a nice little pivot from this Slowking. You know, you get some nice info depending on what move it uses. So.
Yep. At this point, I feel like the Brick Break will not be coming out. It's only 2 turns to reflect. It's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the Poltergeist.
Probably going to be some type of Poltergeist here, or I don't even know, a Crunch.
It could be a Crunch.
Yeah.
I don't think regular Zoroark gets knockoff, so I'd probably just be a Crunch.
You could take this opportunity to Thunderwave, one of these very threatening ones. You do have that free Registeel sack. Crocodile comes back out. It is going to be that Thunderwave. Still has one more turn of Reflect though, so not going to be the most threatening thing in the world. Does still have that that Sinistcha.
There's a knockoff.
This knock comes out, does half, and Chilly Reception is going to be pivoting Slowking out.
Is that a banned Crocodile? That did a lot of damage.
That was a pretty good chunk.
Through a screen? That's really good.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. Don't really know that kind of calc off the top of my head.
I'm pretty confident that a knockoff wouldn't Oko a Slowking.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has to almost be... Oh, another switch in, which is very dangerous in my opinion. You just saw a knockoff already.
Yeah.
What stops the second one?
Almost nothing, to be fair, but it is neutral, so going to live as Dazzling Gleam comes out, and it's going to live a second knockoff, thanks to it losing damage, you know, no more item. Potentially Wish up here, go back to full HP. Pretty nice all around. Obviously, you'd going to be very much missing those leftovers, but, you know, it's not the worst trade in the world. It makes it a pretty decent switch into Crocodile in the future,
Yep.
so it's always something to look out for.
Something to absorb knockoff.
Yeah. Wish comes out. Probably going to be putting this still back to full HP. Going to allow it to
Almost
stick
definitely.
around.
There's going to be a Protect coming out here no matter what, so a good double by Megaverse.
This is taking full rocks damage. This is a Zoroark.
He's back, baby.
He is back.
Notably, this is the second Zoroark, which everyone was not in, because that one is extremely low.
Yeah, I mean, probably a. I mean, if you're bringing it into Screamtail, it's probably a Hisuian Zoroark,
Yeah,
right?
certainly.
Threatening with that Ghost Stab. We're almost Zoroark.
Wait, Poltergeist doesn't hit it anymore.
Oh, that is true. It has no item.
Yeah, like Poltergeist isn't. This has to be a special one if he's bringing it back in.
Yeah, wow, that is a very, very good point. Poltergeist not able to threaten, and I mean, Shadow Sneak isn't really going to be doing much unboosted.
No.
So, I mean, a potential opening here for Mystic. See if he realizes it, or if he opts to scout something out with Protect. Scouting is always dangerous into these Swords Dance sets.
That it is.
You know, you don't really want to give a free boost. This Giga Impact is going to be taking the clean KO on pretty much anything not named Sinistcha. So, gonna be very, very threatening if you are looking out for that. I mean, this is just a tough turn in general.
It is. I do not envy either of these players in this situation, honestly.
Yeah.
The Protect Scouting does come out.
Poltergeist does come out. Let's see if Mystic realizes that it doesn't do damage. I mean, this is, to be fair, a hard thing to realize in the moment.
Right.
You know? It's a pretty niche interaction that doesn't really come up a lot. So I honestly couldn't really blame anyone for not realizing that. Looks like Megaverse does realize that though. Goes for Shadow Sneak instead of that Poltergeist. Not gonna be doing enough though, as it takes 42 Dazzling Gleam, and now it's really on the rocks. Gonna be taking more and more Life Orb chip, and I mean, this Screamtail can just wish up if it wants to. It just goes for the Dazzling Gleam. Gonna be down to 8% here.
It's almost certainly forced out. I thought I was protecting for a move scout at best, but
yeah,
real Crocodile's coming back.
Oh, isn't this? That took 13, right? Isn't this also Zoroark?
That might be Zoroark.
This might just be Zoroark. This is such a funny game to commentate. I just feel like I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Sucker Punch. Oh, it is. This is normal Zoroark.
Wait, that is. Crook doesn't get Sucker Punch, right?
No,
that is Zoroark.
Yeah, this is Zoroark.
What the heck? What is going on?
Well, I mean, yeah, I barely feel like I know what's going on at all. This is
extremely hard. I cannot imagine being either of these players. This is so hard to navigate just from watching.
Yeah. Encore comes out, gonna be failed, attempting to lock it into that Sucker Punch.
That's a very good switch.
Yeah, good switch on the side of Megaverse. Gonna be able to threaten a lot here. I mean, you do need to heal it up here if it's going to if it's gonna be living another round of rocks. Powerball comes out, again very threatening.
Keep clicking it, my big man. That's all you gotta do.
I think if I'm Mystic, this is where I'm cashing in on that Registeel sack.
Yep. Screamtail's too valuable with his wish. You can get a free turn against Toxapeck at some point. I think you can still use this Mon. Registeel, however, you're cooked, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You are giving more health over for the Shell Bell, which is something to consider, but
Registeel
there it is.
Comes out, Powerball, gonna be taking the clean KO. A couple options for Mystic. He could opt to keep up the tempo with something like Darkrai, or he could slow it down a little, get up screens again. If you are that Regieleki, Zoroark is revealed to be a fully physical set with that Sucker Punch. So, I mean, Reflect is going to be very, very valuable. And it also pretty effectively forces out this Cinderace. You know, it almost demands a switch into that Crocodile, which is definitely something you can take advantage of if you are that Regieleki, but opts to just keep up the gas on that pedal. Yeah. Says it's time. throws off that Dark Pulse, gets the clean KO, and I mean, this Storm is not going to stop this Darkrai. It's going to be very, very threatening.
It can click it almost freely.
Yeah, this is normal Crocodile. It is in Ice Beam range, so.
We haven't seen it. It was Focus Sash.
It was Focus Sash, so I mean, a potential Scarf Close Combat would not kill. It does put it in Sucker Punch range, though, which I think is something you want to avoid if you are Mystic here. You know?
Right. This might be a switch to your Sinistcha angle, though that mod is quite useful. It might just be a Screamtail sack to be safe.
Yeah.
It could be Slowking that eats it because almost everything is fine without an item anymore. Excuse me. The knockoff is not nearly as threatening.
Yeah.
So.
Also, you have that. You know, I don't know how ready you are to throw away that Screamtail. It could potentially get a wish off. You know, especially in front of that Zoroark, pressured to click Sucker Punch.
Yep.
There is a world where it comes back to a pretty decent HP.
Could be Reggie Lucky.
Yeah, I think if I'm Mystic here, I'm probably willing to put my Darkrai down to Sash here, even if it is that Scarf Close Combat. You know, you don't really need it for Zoroark, and it also really unlocks your Regieleki. Suddenly becomes one of the most threatening mons in the game once these ground types are taken out. So that's definitely a trade. It seems pretty promising on paper.
That is a very good point. We'll see what Mystic's thinking though, and he will opt to sack the Screamtail to the Close Combat.
Close Combat comes out. Scarf Close Combat, I mean...
This Mox becomes mildly threatening though, is the problem.
Yeah.
Sinistcha can come in for free. Assuming it is Scarfed. We do believe it is.
With the way he's bringing it out, you have to imagine it's Scarf, right? Which does make Sinistcha fairly free. Clicks that very fast, and is gonna get another free click out for this Sinistcha.
Most likely a Machagacha, nothing else like that.
Probably a Machagacha. You don't really want to be letting this Zoroark in for free, and if he's willing to let this Crocodile go, I think you're more than happy with that. Machagacha comes out.
It is.
Decent damage, but nothing to write home about. Again, a potential Terra here could be threatening, or does have that full HP Slowking if he wants to play it safe.
Because if he Terras, he's at risk of close combat sweeps of Moxie, which is very dangerous.
Potential Earthquake becomes a lot scarier if you do go for that Steel-type Terra. So, I mean, Slowking is definitely a lot safer overall. Could also, it's definitely a lot safer in the face of Haze. You know, you don't want to be wasting your Terra and your setup. Get those stat boosts phased away. Probably going to be Slowking coming out here.
I'd be surprised if it was anything else.
Yeah. Could be a potential double on the side of Megaverse to try and punish that. But Toxapex itself is not really going to be doing much at all. It's going to be able to get punished by that chilly reception.
The best play is almost always double here, just to get the Regenerator back up. You get tempo on whatever comes in, even if it just sits there in front of you, like Strength Saps. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I don't see a world that clicks that, though.
Doubles into Zoroark once again, as it is going to be that Steel-type Terra coming out, going for that Calm Mind.
No.
But Brick Break's not going to be doing enough here. Machagacha's probably killing, especially with that Life Orb chip.
That's quite alright if it does. You're getting it in range of almost definite sweep for your Moxie Crocodile, right?
Brick Break does 47. Machagacha gonna be missing, actually.
No.
But it is still not in range of another Brick Break.
Yes. Even if he Brick Breaks now, he gets Strength Sat back. For going a crit, he gets Strength Sat back up to full almost.
Could opt for a Strength Sap here. He does.
There it is.
Gonna be going back to full. And now this Sinistcha is very scary. It's not going to be killed by any one Crocodile move, I believe. Especially since it's Scarf over that band. No Moxie boost. And this, I mean, it's going to be very threatening as Machagacha comes out. Gets the clean KO on the Zoroark. And now, this is looking like it's going to be a very threatening Sinistcha sweep for this endgame.
That it might be. I don't think close combat can kill here. It's a physically bulky mon, as you said earlier.
Yeah, this is a very physically bulky mon. Earthquake
the EQ
does 70, but it holds on. Shadow Ball comes out, not opting to go for that missable move, playing it safe, knowing it's going to be able to 1v1 this Toxapex if it survives this turn. Very, very smart, very aware play from Mystic there. I like
Absolutely.
that a lot.
This might just be a finished up endgame for us here.
Yeah.
Almost nothing Toxapex can do.
Surf going to be doing almost nothing. Again, immune to that Toxic. Even if it can haze away these boosts, you know, there's no
What's the point?
regenerator anymore. And there's only 8 of these recovers, so
Yep.
not going to be able to win this in the long run.
Looks like we're hitting a stalling endgame.
Yeah, we
But the
could be
result's
in here
almost
for a
clear.
while. There is 18 of these Machagachas left, so it's not going away anytime soon, certainly. Cover, once again, comes out. You see the Surf. I mean, there's probably no haze, at least.
That's what we're
if we're not
at this
seeing
point.
it. If we're not seeing it by this point. Gonna be a potential clean 2-hit KO. Barring no misses here. I mean, Shadow Ball does kill, and it can't miss from range. It is similar damage. Baneful Bunker comes out.
Get a little more lefties back.
Just a bit of a silly endgame here. Yeah.
Gotta squeak out those turns. Had the numbers.
He could even go for the double here, you know? Maybe you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the roll. Machagacha misses!
Oh.
Oh! And Toxapex
Oh.
recovers back up to full.
Hangs on for one more day.
Baneful Bunker on the Calm Mind. This is almost certainly
That's-
going to be the game, barring
yeah,
any more misses.
I fear it's gonna be
Machagacha
Oreo.
doing a clean
Ooh.
80 cover, but it is in range of another one, even with this extra turn of lefties. With the Baneful Bunker, barring any like slow rolls or
They both played the mind game.
oh.
Holy heck. Oh my god.
Baneful Bunker goes for the
No.
last Calm Mind.
Whoa.
Oh, and Machagacha
Oh.
misses one more time for the road. The Toxic comes out. Oh my, this is
peak Pokemon.
this is quite the end game.
Toxapex does love its trainer.
Yeah, 90% is fake. Mystic, you know, this guy misses more 90% moves than anyone I've ever seen. It's honestly impressive at this point.
Nathan and Hustle is an infamous offender in that one too.
Oh, true. And the final Machagacha finally comes out. That is going to be the game. It's going to be a 2-1 comeback for the side of Mystic in the Suffolk County Shroomish. So, very well played to him.
Absolutely.
Those are some exciting games, you know.
This is extremely entertaining as a series.
Yeah.
Like, the double imposters, it's epic.
This is
And for the record, we do not do stats. Anyways.
This is a great series to watch. Very well played from both sides. Absolutely fantastic series for our match of the week. This
That
has
should
been
move Mystic in the playoffs realm.
yeah,
Yeah.
very relevant for Suffolk County Shroomish's playoffs. You know, gonna be loving those extra wins to boost you up in the bracket. You know, week 7, there's only one more week past this, so gotta squeak those wins out from any place you can.
Every series matters.
Yep. That is going to be all for us over at King's Court Pokemon League. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week for Week 8, the final week of the regular season.
Woo!
Thank you for watching.